اوكي. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين، واللعنة الدائمة الأبدية على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى قيام يوم الدين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. So we have 10 questions left from the annex of Manasik al-Hajj under the chapter of questions and answers about Muzdalifah. So we did question number 20, question number 21. Okay, so this is about something happened to some Hujjaj. Some of the Hujjaj, a group of Hujjaj, they evacuated or left Arafat, okay, uh, to stay in Muzdalifah in the eve of Eid. And when they arrived to a place, they were called that this is Muzdalifah. So they stayed in it with the intention, everything was genuine, except they were told that this is Muzdalifah. Next day, they found out it was not Muzdalifah. And it happens a lot. Even those who are there, the guards and the ones who are kept there to guide the Hujjaj, sometimes they don't know where they are. And this is my personal experience. Ask this guy, where's Mina? This guy will say, that direction. I walk that direction. I'll feel it doesn't seem like. I'll ask after walking 1 kilometer, 1.5 kilometer. I ask where's Mina? He said, on that side. I said, I just came from that side. He said, who told you that? I said, somebody dressed like you. He told me this side. So this happens a lot. So be careful. Every now and then double check, because those people who are there, they are coming there like a summer job or whatever job, temporary, and they don't know about the demographic or geography of Mina, Muzdalifah, Arafat. And so just be careful. Or they must have been given a workshop and they forgot about it. So just make sure that you don't rely on one person. Several people there, you try to keep asking them frequently. Otherwise, you might end up into somewhere else by asking one person, and then kiss your Hajj goodbye. So, what is the ruling? Okay, so they missed the primary stay, eve of Eid. So they say if they were able to, because they did Arafat. So if they were able to take the secondary stay in Muzdalifah, that means the day of Eid, anytime before Dhuhr, anytime from the sunrise to Dhuhr, anytime they can stay there. Portion الوقوف قليلا, little bit of time, just stay there, make intention 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever. Not that you don't need to stay too much. In the day of Eid, صح حجهم. If they're able to manage, or they were able to fulfill the secondary stay of Muzdalifah, which is the day of Eid, then their Hajj will be correct. Otherwise, their Hajj will be invalid, and their Hajj would have been converted to Umrah Mufrada, because they entered the state of Ihram, correct, from Makkah, 8th Dhul Hajj. Arafat was achieved, Muzdalifah was not achieved. So that means Hajj is gone. Muzdalifah gone, Hajj gone. Then they did the Tawaf of Hajj, Salat Tawaf of Hajj, Tawaf al-Nisa, Salat Tawaf al-Nisa, this package of, which is also part of Umrah Mufrada. So what about their Mina? No, Muzdalifah gone, Mina gone, Arafat gone, everything gone. Sacrifice gone, shaving of the head gone. So what happens, that what they did will be considered Umrah Mufrada, because they did the Tawaf, Salat al-Tawaf, Sa'i between Safa and Marwa, and Tawaf al-Nisa and Salat Tawaf al-Nisa. So basically their Hajj is gone, but still their Umrah Mufrada was taken into consideration. So this is what they said, that Yabtul Hajjuhu. Okay. Yes, then the Sahha Hajjum. Otherwise, if secondary stay of Muzdalifah is gone, their Hajj will be invalid and it will be converted to Umrah Mufrada. Then we have if question 22. Again, the hyperbolic Irfani situation. A Haji stayed in Arafat and then lost his consciousness, knocked down. Maybe that shock and awe kind of thing or hyperbolic Irfani. He was reciting dua of Imam Hussein, dua of Arafah, and then his hyper Irfani state got it heightened, it knocked down. I mean, it's not like there are people, they get too much like their feeling becomes strong when they get bonded with Allah, and they faint, or maybe not because of the irfani, maybe because of the weakness or lack of food, lack of medicine, whatever reason, excessive heat nowadays, like for example the hajj is like in the summer days. So all these can be cases where a person can be knocked down. So he lost his consciousness, okay? And he did not wake up until the noon of the day of Eid. That means his whole Muzdalifa, primary gone, secondary gone, whole Muzdalifa is gone, because the time of secondary stay of Muzdalifa until the noon of the day of Eid. So what will be his ruling? Obviously, kiss your Hajj goodbye. So he says, Yabtul Hajj, his Hajj will be invalid and his Hajj will be converted to Umrah Mufrada. So he should perform the obligations of Umrah Mufrada and exit the state of Ihram by clipping the hair or shaving of the head, which is in the case of Umrah Mufrada. Remember, Umrah Tamattu, you don't shave your head, but Umrah Mufrada, you can. Question number 23. Someone was able to fulfill the primary stay of Arafat. Okay? Man adraka Arafah faqat. He was able to only get Arafah only. And Muzdalifa gone. So no primary, so no secondary say. So his Hajj was converted to Umrah Mufrada. Is it sufficient for him that the Tawaf of Hajj he did and Sa'i and Tawaf al-Nisa to be considered as obligations of Umrah Mufrada, or he has to do it all again? Remember, he did the Tawaf, but Tawaf of Hajj after Mina. He did the 2 rakat Tawaf, he did all. But then he realized that he had missed Muzdalifa. They told him, your Hajj is invalid. So does he have to do the Amal of Umrah Mufrada, or that Amal of Hajj, the sandwich, which is a Tawaf, Hajj, Tawaf, Sa'i, Tawaf, will be sufficient? He says that he doesn't need to repeat. There is no need to repeat the Tawaf and Salat al-Tawaf and Sa'i. Even if in certain cases, remember we said for women and those people, they can also do it before the staying of Arafat and Muzdalifa. Even if he had preceded them, done them before the 2 stays of Muzdalifa and Mina, for those whom are allowed to, such as we said, some of the excuses cases of women. So what he does is he needs to clip off the hair, because shaving of the head was done in Mina before these Tawaf, Sa'i, Tawaf. But in Tawaf, Sa'i, Tawaf, remember, now let me just make it clear. In Umrah Mufrada, what do? You do Tawaf, Salat al-Tawaf, Sa'i between Safa and Marwa, and clip off your hair or shave off your head for men. And then you do Tawaf al-Nisa, Salat al-Tawaf al-Nisa. The sandwich, Tawaf, Sa'i, Tawaf. But there's a clipping of the hair. This is Umrah Mufrada. Hajj Tamattu, after coming back from Mina, after pelting the stone, after shaving the head, or taqsir for women, what do? You do the Tawaf of Hajj and the Sa'i of Tawaf of Hajj. Tawaf of Hajj, Salat Tawaf of Hajj, Sa'i. No taqsir is there in after Sa'i. No shaving head, because you already did in Mina. and then Tawaf al-Nisa and Salat. So what is the difference? The difference between Umrah Mufrada and Tawaf of Hajj, the A'mal of Umrah Mufrada and A'mal of Makkah of Hajj, is that in Umrah Mufrada there is a clipping of the hair exiting the state of Ihram. In A'mal of Hajj, there is no clipping of the hair after the sa'i between Safa and Marwa. So this is the difference. So that portion which is done in Umrah Mufrada is not done in Manasik al-Hajj of Makkah. It's done before. It's done in Mina. So now that's why he needs to do the taqsir, because now it's Umrah Mufrada. So this is when قدمها على الوقوفين فيقصر أو يحلق ثم يعيد طواف النساء. Remember, there's a sequence between taqsir and tawaf al-nisa. So what he's trying to say here that he did tawaf, he did min manasik al-hajj, he did tawaf al-hajj, he did salat tawaf al-hajj, he did the sa'i between Safa and Marwa, and there was no taqsir. There's no taqsir in hajj because he already did in Mina. And then he did salat tawaf al-nisa, and tawaf al-nisa and salat tawaf al-nisa. So what is missing here? Let's say Muzdalifa gone, the Hajj is converted, Hajj Tamattu is converted to Umrah Mufrada. So he did the package, except for one thing, that sa'i, that taqsir is not there in the Amal of Hajj. So he needs to do taqsir in order, if the thing has been converted to Umrah Mufrada, then he need to do that taqsir part, getting off out of Ihram. But where is the location, position of it? It's between the sa'i and Tawaf al-Nisa. And he's already done Tawaf al-Nisa. So that's why he said he will, after the taqsir, will redo the Tawaf al-Nisa on the basis of obligatory precaution. So he says he doesn't need to repeat the Tawaf and Salat of Tawaf and the sa'i if he had made them ahead of the two stays, Muzdalifa and Arafat and Muzdalifa, due to some excuse. Those who are given those who have excuses, certain excuses, they can do their tawaf of Hajj and Salat tawaf of Hajj before the two stays. Okay. فيقصر أو يحلق. So then he does taqsir or shaving of the head. ثم يعيد طواف النساء وصلاة على الأحوال. Then he repeats the Tawaf of Nisa and Salat of Tawaf and Nisa on the basis of obligatory precaution, because there's a sequence between Taqsir and Tawaf and Nisa. Okay, let's take question number 24. So, it's a repeated question. He already answered in the previous one. So if someone's Hajj has converted into someone performing the Hajj did not fulfill the primary stay. No, لم يدرك إلا اختياري عرفة. He only got, Muzdalifa was not there. So if a person is performing the Hajj fulfilled only the primary stay of Arafah, and his Hajj was converted to Umrah Mufrada, is it sufficient that whoever had done the Tawaf of Hajj and Salat of Tawaf of Hajj and the Sa'i before the two stays? He says, yes, it is sufficient. I mean, there's no need to repeat it. Question number 25. Whoever was not able to arrive Muzdalifa at night, eve of the Eid, due to the crowd, and that happens. That's due to the crowd, and he arrived on the day of Eid. However, he passed by it. So he arrived when? Day of Eid. And he passed over Muzdalifa in the bus without making the intention of the the Hajj, the secondary stay. So he did not make secondary stay. The sun is rising and still, I mean, and then the bus moves and they arrive on the day of Eid. Okay. So he was not able to arrive. So he arrived on the day of Eid in Muzdalifah and they passed by it. And he did not make intention that I am staying in Muzdalifah, the secondary stay. So what will be the ruling of his Hajj? His Hajj will be invalid and it will be converted to Umrah Mufrada. Question number 26. If a person who's performing Hajj stays in Muzdalifah midnight, okay, stays in Muzdalifah until midnight, then he leaves after the midnight. If a person stays in Muzdalifah until midnight, then he evacuates or leaves Muzdalifah because the caravan of the school of companion, they leave after midnight. So he was among the caravan of midnight, a caravan of the school of companion. They maybe some of the madhahib, they allow leaving before after midnight, but for us after Fajr, after sunrise, on the basis of obligatory precaution. So he can't stay alone there. Will he be required to pay a penalty of goat? He says there is no penalty on him if he was compelled to leave. If the question says he was not able to stay alone there, his caravan leaves, what will he do alone? He'll get lost second day in Mina. So this is if this case was the case of necessity to leave Mina with them, then there is no penalty upon him. So the idea is that anyone who has excuse, okay, or compelled necessity. So his caravan leaves. His caravan is from School of Companion. Leaves after midnight, not after sunrise. School of Ahlul Bayt after sunrise. School of Companion after midnight. And he's with them. And he can't leave them. They go and he's there and he's stuck and he doesn't know what to do. So in this case, he's compelled. And if he's compelled, then he got the essential, the rukni wuquf. Then he doesn't have to pay kafara if he was compelled to leave Muzdalifah. Question number 27. So question number 27, if it was not permissible for Hujjaj to stay between the dawn and the sunrise, so what would be the ruling of someone who was following Sayyid al-Khoi, who would consider the wajib not fulfilled, the obligation not fulfilled, except to stay between them? Will that ruling, will the ruling of the person who is exempt, such as person who is afraid, or will apply, or his Hajj will be invalid? I'm surprised. I mean, because normally people, they stay between sunrise and maybe things have changed. God knows better. Maybe things they are telling leave, leave, leave. They're not allowing people to stay from the dawn till sunrise. So in that case, just stay on the beginning of. Let me just give you some idea of if this case happened. I have never come across this situation but things change nowadays. So let's see our map so that we can see how we can bypass first of all this technical issue. So yeah. So let's say you're standing here. Okay, this is Mina. Okay, remember this is Mina, Wadi Muhassar. So you're standing here. I hear you, nobody will tell you to go move because these are already tents of Mina. So you can just stay here until the sunrise. But let's say you're standing here, okay? Or let's say you're standing here, and hypothetically, and the police, they told you, move, 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 go in Mina, you can't stay here. If that's correct, what is mentioned in the question, and things change, I don't recall because we used to stay, nobody will tell us leave and this and that. Arafat, yes, but here Muzdalifa, nobody will tell us to leave. And we'll be there, and Sunnis will be there, Shias will be there, everybody will be there. So they tell us to move before sunrise. No problem. Stay here in the beginning border of Muzdalifa. Stay in this area. So if they tell you move, 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 until you move, it will take you 1 hour to reach here, and the sun will rise, and then you will exit. So it's not a problem. I mean, if you see that kind of cases there, I don't know, people, those who have gone for Hajj will have to ask them that when you stay in Muzdalifa, are you guys pushed after Salat al-Fajr, flushed out in Mina, or no, you can stay. Maybe in certain year this might have happened in certain case, but I don't recall anybody mentioning from Hujjaj that they pushed us, they flushed us out, and we have to leave. I have not heard, but God knows best. Let's hypothetically go with this question and see what if somebody is forced to be pushed out, and he was follower of Sayyid al-Khuybi. Sayyid al-Sistani is obligatory precaution till sunrise. So that means there is a way out. Okay, obligatory precaution. That means if it was compelled necessity, you can leave, or if it were, you can refer to another marja. But for Sayyid al-Khuybi, he used to consider obligation between the dawn and the sunrise, and if somebody misses that was essential for Sayyid al-Khoi, then will the ruling of the one who's afraid or apply upon him out of fear he left, or his Hajj will be invalid? So he says that if someone was afraid of being harmed through the authorities, if he stays after the rise of the dawn, obviously the rule of someone who's afraid will be applied. However, if whatever prevents him, uh, وما إذا كان يمنع من البقاء ويتم إخراجه ليلا، فمقتضى القاعدة جريان حكم المصدود عليه. So in case if he is forced to evacuate at night, okay, um, so there is or forced to stay there the remaining night, and is forced to leave at night, then the ruling of the one who is banned from performing Hajj will be applied. Those rulings we are going to take after we finish Manasik al-Hajj. There's Masdood, yani, the one who has been banned or barred from performing the Manasik al-Hajj, or yeah. So yeah, so if he had fear from the authorities, okay, if he stays until the rise of the dawn, or until after the rise of the dawn, then the rule of the fearful person will be applied on him. However, if he is prevented from staying there and is compelled to be out, then obviously the rule of Masdood will be applied. Question number 28. Uh, can someone, in the previous ruling, can someone refer to Sayyid Sistani Damadullah, who considers a portion of the night is essential and sufficient. So he says, Sayyid Sistani Damadullah, he says he differs from Sayyid al-Khoi in the concept. So Sayyidi Sistani considers portion of the night is sufficient for the, in Muzdalifah is sufficient for the validity of the Hajj, even for those who are not exempt. However, those who are exempt, there'll be no penalty. Those who are not exempt, if they leave before the Fajr, they will have a penalty. So we discussed this issue. But and then there will be no barring for the case of Sayyidi Sistani. However, if the according to fatwa of Sayyid al-Khuy Quddas Sirro, the barring will be applied, the rule of somebody being barred from performing the rituals of Hajj, because for Sayyid al-Khuy it was essential to stay until the rise of until sunrise. Question number 29. Some of the men, they are okay to stay in Arafat. Okay, they have eaten enough bananas and they have eaten their medications and pills, so they are okay to stay. There's no haraj, there's no problem, difficulty upon them to stay in Muzdalifah the entire time. However, it becomes difficult upon them to depart or to evacuate or to leave Muzdalifah. Okay, they can stay in Muzdalifah without any problem, but the leaving process after sunrise becomes very difficult due to the problem of obesity, excessive obesity, romanticism, pain in the knees, and all those kind of conditions, that for them to walk after the sunrise to reach in Mina, that becomes hard, cause of difficulty and hardship. And he is from those who are not were not exempt from evacuating before the Fajr. وهو ممن لا يتهيأ له حين النفر صباحا. Yeah, and also there is no means of transportation. Many times your bus is somewhere, you are somewhere, you can't find your bus. So for some reasons, he is not able to, or someone, no, he knows that he doesn't, because he came all the way walking, so his spot on the bus was lost. He did not have any space in the bus because he came walking. Anyhow, so let's see. So there are some men, they don't have any problem staying in the Muzdalifah the entire time until the sunrise, that means. However, it becomes a cause of difficulty and hardship for them to evacuate or leave after the sunrise due to the severe obesity or romanticism or pain in the knee and so on. And they cannot find a way of transportation, so they have to walk from means of transportation to leave in the morning, and that takes them all the way to the big pillar of the Satan so that they can pelt. However, at night, the means of transportations are available. So is it sufficient for them to just stay the portion of night and then go and pelt the big pillar of the shaitan at night, similar to other exempt ones? He said, there's no problem in that. It is permissible. It is permissible to do that. And finally, question number 30, is it sufficient for women to make the intention of staying in Muzdalifah eve of 10th while they are passing by in the train, and the train did not stop? He said it's sufficient. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So basically, we were doing the question and answer, if you can see, and we are, inshallah, going to go to the section of pelting the big shaitan. So, yes, these are question and answer. What I'm deciding is I'll just, Mabit Femina, no, Tawaf al-Nisa, and we have Tawaf al-Hajj, we have Halq al-Taqsir. So we have about 100 rulings left, and what we are going to do is we are going to consolidate the rules of sacrifice. We're not going to go into a lot of details because there are repetition in the detail. So what we are going to do now, I think I need to go back. So yes, we go to Manasik al-Hajj. We go to the main text. And Muzdalifa, yes. So we are going to do the Mina, Wajibat of Mina. So we did this Wuqufain, yeah, the primary stay and the secondary stay. Now we are going to take the Amal of Eid, which starts with pelting the stone. So there are three things you do on the Eid day: pelting the big pillar of the Satan, second, sacrifice, and third, exiting the state of Ihram, partial exit, because still women and perfume will be left. Other than that, all those things which are associated with the Ihram and not the place, not the Haram, associated with Ihram, a person will be relieved. So from 25 things, almost most of them will be done except for the women related issue and the perfume. Perfume is done after Tawaf of Hajj, and women related issue after Tawaf of Nisa. So basically, we have three things of A'mal Mina, and inshallah in our upcoming session we will do the uh, yeah, ruling number 337. So these are the conditions of pelting the shaitan, and these are the rulings. Um, and instead of doing now all these rulings and going back to the Q&A, what I'll do is now, because we don't have that much left, we have A'mal Mina, 2 nights staying in Mina, Amal Makkah, and that's it. We are done. So pelting 2 days, 11th and 12th, three small, medium, large pillars of shaitan, and then staying 2 nights. That's Amal Mina. Amal Makkah, the sandwich, Tawaf, Sa'i, Tawaf, Tawaf al-Hajj, Sa'i, Tawaf al-Nisa. Of course, when I say Tawaf, Salat is with the Tawaf. That's it. So I'm planning to just complete the manasik, and then we can go on Q&A sessions of all these the manasik which I did. Normally we used to do manasik and Q&A, but now the main essentials were the Arafat and Mina, and obviously the Tawaf we have already done, so it will be just passing by. So I'll do the ahkam and then we'll take the Q&A session. So inshallah, we in our next sessions we'll start talking about the day Amal of the day of Eid. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.